Hi, this is Doris Matsui, and this is another segment of Dishing with Doris. And today I have the pleasure of having two wonderful people with me who want to talk to me and with me about a very important topic. But I'd like to introduce Daisy and Vincent Po'oi. And I've met Daisy and Vincent some time ago, and around some very important health issues. And so I want to introduce, first of all, Daisy to introduce her son, but give us a background on why we met and how we met.
Great, thank you, Congresswoman, for inviting us to be here this afternoon. We met last year at Children's Congress, and it's our first time anything like this has taken place in our family. It's a great opportunity to come out and meet you and discuss the impact type 1 diabetes has had on Vincent. Vincent was diagnosed when he was 6. And he's almost, were you 6?
I was 8.
Oh, 8. I'm so sorry. It felt like, a while back. But we did a lot of advocacy work to help raise more awareness in our community, and it was a great opportunity for the Sacramento chapter to introduce us to Children's Congress and be able to come talk to you about some of the challenges we've been facing with.
Absolutely, type 1 juvenile diabetes. And the reason why I'm going to talk with you is that we all know how important the Affordable Care Act has been in this country, and the fact that within the Affordable Care Act is that protections on pre-existing conditions. And as we well know, that is so important in this case with diabetes and any other disease, particularly that could be chronic disease. And I was wondering what you felt about the fact that this present administration wants to take away the pre-existing conditions.
Oh, that one's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult to think about just not having the opportunity to have affordable health care. That would devastate our community completely, and everyone with chronic illness, because we depend on those protections to be able to provide the medical treatment that he needs and the health care that he needs. And without it, I don't know where we turn to.
Right. No, and I think that a lot of people feel that way because I think most people are like one illness away from pre-existing condition, right?
Yeah.
And so that affects everyone, but particularly young people, I believe, because it's the rest of their lives. And we also don't want to have any lifetime caps on the amount of money that you would be having to spend. So anyway, I've met you before.
Yeah.
You're a lot shorter then. And you're much taller than me. I won't do that now because I won't stand up because you are much taller than I am. But what I have been impressed with you is how you've taken on this challenge and really made it a part of your life so it doesn't actually impact you in a negative way because you learn to deal with it. And I understand also too that you're out there encouraging other people too. And I know you said you're 8 years old. How did you handle this anyway? And how old are you now?
Well, I'm 14 now.
14, wow.
Yeah. At first it was hard, getting used to having to test my blood sugar 6 to 8 times and taking shots before every meal or any drink, that had carbohydrates in it. And, I went through breakdowns, and at points I just wanted to give up, but I had my doctors who helped me and my family and all my friends, and, they walked through this thing with me too.
Well, that's great. That's great. And I think you're out there talking with other young people too. Is that right, about to keep on going and you can go overcome this? And so what is your routine now as far as you still have to have your blood tests and everything?
Yeah, so I wake up, and I have to test my blood sugar, make sure everything's okay, and I take insulin for my breakfast, and then I go to school, and then when lunchtime comes around, I do the same thing. Test my blood sugar, take insulin for the amount of carbs I'm having, and happens for the dinner too and every meal.
So you have to know what you're eating all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
that makes you, I think, mature, grow pretty fast, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
He's grown a lot in the past couple years. You know, it was a big change for our family altogether. He would have to count carbs, learn how to read labels on food items and cereal and milk and measure things. So it was a big challenge. And, you know, I guess after, almost 6 years now, he's somewhat of a pro. He can kind of figure out how many carbs in a cup of rice or, you know, something easy to do. Yeah.
That's great. You know, I understand that you've been out there advocating on behalf of funding for juvenile diabetes, because I think that's really very important. And what would you say to people, young people who encounter this problem? I mean, you know, you've been there, you're sort of a veteran at this. Yeah.
Well, I'd want them to know that they're not alone, and that I went through the same thing, and there's hundreds and thousands of kids out there with it, and, you know, I will be there for them, and we'll walk it together.
Oh, that's really great. That's great. Yeah. How did you feel as a parent when you found out that he had diabetes?
It was definitely devastating at first. I blamed myself, thinking that I didn't raise my kid right. I didn't provide healthier meals, and that I could have done better. But once he was admitted and we were educated by the doctor that type 1 and type 2 are completely different, and that anyone can be born with it, and it could happen at, you know, the adolescence or up to adults at any given time. And it's not hereditary. You know, that gave me some peace of mind. But the challenge of not knowing, how do I cope? How do I give him the strength that I feel inside to overcome those challenges at a young age? There's no book, there's no manual for it. And I did a lot of praying and hoping that I can build some strength in a young kid, and that he'd be able to find that strength and be able to advocate. And I tell him, you know, one day you're going to overcome these challenges, and you can advocate for the newly diagnosed or those who have gone through some of those challenges he's gone through. So
I think it makes you, I mean, some of these things that you think about that hit you in life, at the time you think, oh no, why does it have to happen to me? But I see in you somebody who has taken that and become stronger, and being able to, you know, persevere. I mean, this is a challenge that you have, but I think you've taken that, and, you know, you're going to have other challenges in your life, but you've done this one here, and I think it makes you a lot stronger too.
Yes.
Wow, that's incredible. Absolutely. So, what would you tell other parents if, you know, going back to when you first got the diagnosis and how you felt, and what would you say to them?
Definitely make sure that they find a healthcare provider that is very supportive, that offers the resources they need for when they leave the hospital, and be able to get in touch with them 24 hours, you know, a day, 7 days a week. That's the type of support we have at UC Davis Children's Hospital. One of the best medical staff, and we're extremely blessed that when he was diagnosed, we went straight there, and we couldn't have done it without them. So definitely looking for a great healthcare provider, great staff, support groups. There are plenty of support groups out there, but we try to advocate and build some awareness within our community. We have a Facebook page, it's called T1D Looks Like Me. We try to connect with other families and kind of just share some of the advocacy work we've done, and just letting them know that they're not alone, and just stay strong.
Well, that's good, and I think also advocating that we have to keep our pre-existing condition protections. I think that changed a lot of people in the sense of, you know, if you don't have to fear that aspect of it, I mean, you've already got enough challenges anyway, but to think that you don't have to worry about pre-existing conditions is, to me, I think most people kind of, you know, this whole burden off your shoulders, and then you can focus on what you have to focus on. And I think that's really very important, because, you know, someone like you, Vincent, I mean, you've managed to take this and go forward and make sure that this doesn't rule your life. I mean, you have certain disciplines, you have to do certain things, but you've incorporated that in your life, and I think that's really amazing, absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know there are a lot of new technologies coming out. Are there some new technologies as far as what you can do when you monitor your diabetes?
Yes, so my last doctor's appointment, I was told that there's this new thing called the G6, and it's a type of continuous glucose monitor, and what it does is it reads your blood sugar, like it's something small, you know, you put on your arm or like any part of your body, and it reads your blood sugar, and now it's so accurate that eliminates the step of having to prick your finger and test your blood.
That's big though, right?
Yeah.
So you said how many times do you have to prick your finger?
Usually, like, you know, as an athlete or people who play sports, like around 6 to 8 times a day.
And this will eliminate it?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow, we hope that goes forward in the best possible way, and hopefully it gets covered by insurance, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
But, you know, the SDP definitely helped fund these type of new technologies for us, so we're super grateful for that.
That's great. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say to whoever you want to say it to?
That they should never give up, and you know that there's always there's people out there for them, and they're not alone.
How about you?
Definitely continue finding that inner strength as a parent, and being that advocate for their child.
Right.
Because these are unexpected illnesses that we didn't plan nor ask for.
Exactly.
But we've learned to manage with the cards that we've been dealt with. They're definitely life-changing, but there is hope. And as long as we stay strong and be that advocate, we can definitely help our kids get through this.
That's really great. And I think that's the important thing about health, and the fact that it's very personal and it impacts every single one of us. And I always feel that health is something that is a common denominator for all of us. We want everybody to be healthy, but if they can't be healthy, we want to help them to live with whatever they have. And that's why I really believe that we have to fight against any administration that wants to take away our pre-existing conditions. We have to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to live their life and not be worried about the next illness that they might have or the illness they have now. So I want to thank you very much for joining me today and telling me your story. I'm just really impressed with you, Vincent, and the way you're living your life. And best to you and Daisy, your mom too.
Thank you.
I know a wonderful mother. I can tell right away.
I appreciate it. We're so grateful for this opportunity to be able to share our story with you, and you know, we really do appreciate all the support that you and your staff have done on behalf of our T1E community, especially for helping with the renewal of the SDP.
Yes.
We really do depend on that funding. That has helped with some new technologies that he was super excited about to hear, you know, at his last doctor's visit.
That's great.
So we do appreciate all
Well,
the
and
efforts.
Vincent, just think about the fact when you grow up, you might be inventing the next technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would help the next generation. You know, it's important because you never know where healthcare is going to be going, and with new technologies and new cures, who knows, right?
Yeah.
There's always hope.
Yes,
So,
there is.
Thank you so much for being
Oh,
with me
thank
today.
you. We
Absolutely.
appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.